I have failed this intro so many times. I just can't take it anymore. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna keep this intro very, very, very simple. I made an Instagram story post asking you guys to submit some questions for a YouTube Q&A. Thank you. There we go. I am going to answer the questions. Alright, so the first question is, what is harder, one arm front lever or sat? Now, I would say this is a little bit controversial because I would say a bad form one arm front lever is way easier than a normal sat, but a bad form sat is way easier than a normal one arm front lever. So let's just assume that it is a good form sat and a good form one arm front lever we're talking about. If we're comparing both of them being good form, which one is harder? I would say I would have to go with, it's a really tough one actually. I would have to go with sat, but in all honesty, we're not saying perfect form, right? We're just saying good form. So I would still have to go with sat because I learned one arm front lever way earlier, way before I did sat. All right, so the next question is, how long did it take you to succeed in one arm front? And the answer to that is, depends. It depends, because if we're talking about how long did it take me to achieve just a bad form front, then I think it was a few months, to be honest. Like if we're talking bad form. But if we're talking perfection, like actual perfection, like I'm talking about you leave the bar with one hand like this, and then you're still in the same position. That might have been like 1 or 2 years, so yeah. Oh boy, how long you train pool for? If we're talking pre-calisthenics, I've been training pool since I was like 7 or 8 years old. I've been doing it for like way too long. But if we're talking calisthenics strictly, I've been doing it for 5-6 years. All right, so we have a planche question. The planche question is, how long did it take you to get the planche, and what exercises did I do to get the planche press? Sorry, not what exercises, it's how many exercises. And in all honesty, 2 exercises. The only 2 things I did for planche press is basically attempts and bands. That's it. Attempts and bands. Those 2 things. Not even negatives, to be honest. I don't really do negatives often, ever. As for how long it took me to get the planche, well, that's a very difficult question to answer because I have done some planche training in the past, like years and years ago, but it never amounted to anything. It never got anywhere. I was still stuck at tuck, basically, you know what I mean? So technically speaking, in 5 months, I went from a tuck hold to, well, whatever level I am at now, which is I can do a full planche press, I can do a shadow planche press, I can do like 12 planche push-ups without a hold at the end and stuff like that. So yeah. Now the next question is something I really do like, and I'm gonna have some fun answering it. And the question is, how to build endurance for competitions because your rest times are pretty short between battles. Now you see, the reality of this is that it's not that complicated. All you do is give yourself the scenario as if you're in a battle. The way you do your training is not how you would do it normally. You would basically just structure it like, okay, a round is, let's say, 45 seconds to a minute. So you do a combo for a minute, then your opponent does a minute, and then that means you have a minute rest. Then you go again after a minute, so you only have 1 minute rest, and then you do your training like that. You basically focus on combos with a very short rest break, and then you go for the combo again, and then you build your endurance up that way. And you do this maybe like 2 or 3 weeks leading up to a comp, and then you should be good to go. Oh, by the way, just to add on to this, I would also recommend to do what Elias said as well, which is just go out in public and do calisthenics in public, because the like slight adrenaline you get from being watched is also fairly realistic to a competition. So yeah. Now the next question is in Hungarian. It is mióta csinálsz calisthenics set, which means how long have I been doing calisthenics for? And I'm gonna say 5 to 6 years. Maltese tutorial. 20 likes and I'll do a Maltese tutorial. What is your favorite stage of front lever progressions? Okay, if I gotta be honest here, I would say I would say it's just the tuck, to be honest. I really do enjoy the tuck. I always used to warm up with tuck pull-ups, and tuck pull-ups are like the most fun thing to do because I'm basically flying in tuck pull-ups all the time, so I enjoy it quite a lot. Okay, so the second to last question for this video is, how old were you when you started calisthenics? And the simple answer to that is, I think around 18 or 19. 18, I would say 18. And to wrap up this video, the final question. Is supersat harder than pronated Victorian cross? If I could do any of them, I could answer the question, but I don't know how to do